Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a hopefully on-time episode of Nick and Sergio's Fun Watch List. I am Nick.
I am Sergio.
And today we are here covering the 7th episode of the 5th season of La Mas Draga. Yay!
Quinta Ola.
Quinta Ola. The Quinta Ola is fucking out of control.
Yes.
I'm sure if you're watching this, you are also stunned by the events of tonight's episode. And in the interest
really
of...
shocking.
We'll talk about the shocking ending at the end. But I would like to... We're always spoiling what happens at the end. Let's live in a magical world where we don't know what happens.
Because you haven't seen the episode. Yeah. We're watching this.
Yep. Because I want to talk about the episode leading up. Because this is another example of an episode in this amazing season of La Mas Draga where there is some huge twist at the end of an episode that already would have been like so much fun and so memorable. So they're really bringing it to us on all fronts this season.
Yeah, every single episode has been so produced this season. It's insane.
The production was really showing on this one.
Yeah.
And we can talk about that when we get to the judgments.
Why don't you start us off?
Well, Johnny comes in and he's dressed in sort of a yellow-orange outfit. And why might he be wearing that color?
Wonder why.
Oh, it's because this week the main challenge is La Mas Tejocote.
Yes.
Which is a type of fruit that is native to the Mexican region. Is that right? Have you eaten one?
I have had tejocote juice, which is very popular. Jugo.
Is it sweet or sour?
I can't remember. Wait. Bitter. Like, not like acidic. I feel like it was acidic.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good though?
It was great.
Okay, yeah.
I love acidic.
Yeah, it's this special fruit, and they need to design a garment around the sort of distinctive yellow-orange color of the tejocote, which we'll get into later. But first, Rogelio comes in, and he says there will not be a mini challenge this week. There will be, in fact, a mega challenge. Bum, bum, bum.
A maxi challenge.
He says mega.
Oh.
At least that's what it said in the captions. I don't know what he said.
I think he did say mega in Spanish.
I think he said mega. Regardless, the challenge this week will be a musical, similar to the musical they did in the 4th season. They did a musical parodying a bunch of theme songs to telenovelas.
Yes, that was incredible.
Yes.
That was so good.
It was very fun. You had to explain most of it to me.
Yeah.
This one was right up my alley because they are doing a musical around Britney Spears.
Which is hilarious because when you were watching it, it's like, Shakira.
Ooh, who could it be? Who could this musical be about?
Who else was it?
Lore Leon.
Yeah, like Laura Leon. Like, you know, like,
wasn't the hostess from season 1 one of the artists? Because she's
Lorena Herrera. Yeah, yes, she was one of them in there. And then...
Yeah. And then it just landed on Britney.
They're like, you know how we tell you about how much we love Spanish-speaking content? Well, we're not going to give that to you today.
Today.
I feel like they included us. We got it. It was great.
Oh, it was great. It was so neat getting...
The songs that we knew.
I was just appreciating the sort of Spanish language, like, slutified versions of the words because they took some creative liberties when they were doing the translations, which was very fun. It was nice being a little more oriented in the challenge, but that does present some challenges to the performers on the show who maybe didn't grow up with Britney Spears. Peke doesn't like Britney. Who else hated Britney? Someone else.
Paper Cut?
I think maybe Paper Cut, wasn't it? She was a Hannah Montana.
It was Paper Cut.
He said, I'm a Hannah Montana
Paper Cut said that he was a Hannah Montana fan.
Yeah.
Or not fan. I think it was a translation because what he actually said was, I'm a Hannah Montana not like, I'm a Hannah Montana fan. Meaning like, he's young. That's what he was saying.
Oh, I see. They start off by going into the recording studio, which we've never seen. We've never seen this studio.
We've never seen, even before usually the finale is when the girls do a song. And it's been like a whole different setup. And this was like an actual, like, you're here to sing, girl. Like, especially I think Santa Lucia was the only one we got to see like face to face with the producer instead of behind the glass. And so it felt like a weird, like, MTV show, like, you know, very different than what La Mas Draga typically is.
Yeah, but we do end up with these very fun Britney Spears parodies. And just because we need to talk about the performances and the runways, we're just going to get right into these Britney performances because there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
So very quickly, because the judges come out before the mega challenge, we are introduced to Maka. She looks great today.
She looks cute.
Very like goth girl, very Wednesday Addams, but like Hot Topicked up. I liked it. We have
I feel like
Raquel.
she had like Tumblr energy.
Big Tumblr energy. Yeah, she would have been huge on Tumblr. Raquel is next, and she's wearing this very effervescent like gold net that looks, I don't know, I wish I could wear that around the house.
I mean, we get it. You're beautiful. Show us versatility. Just kidding.
Raquel, you don't need to do anything different. You can just keep looking pretty. I love it. Yari is looking very adorable as well. She's got kind of a big pink kawaii bow with
fully
some,
recovered.
She
her
sounds
voice
good.
Is fully back,
Yeah.
and I feel like her Yadi-isms are fully back.
Yes, she was very funny, very on this episode. We go over to Leital. Leital's giving us, I think, kind of more of a classic Leital look with like the red hair and the black vinyl.
Yes, it felt like season 2.
Yeah, it was giving me that for sure.
Yeah, it started to feel like season 2.
I mean,
except her boob was like sideways. I think it's the way she was sitting.
I think, yeah, the bodice was like caught on one of her thighs or something. But it was still a very cool look. I loved the sort of, was it like a bloody lace thing going on her face?
Yeah, she's been just wearing things on her face.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, she looks great. And then we meet our guest judge, who both of us had not heard of.
I don't know who this person is.
But she was so funny. She was so quick. She had jokes, and she had really good critiques.
Yeah.
She's
a great judge.
She's a musical theater person, so she's perfect
Based
for this challenge.
Based on what Maka said.
Yes.
We don't
assuming.
Know. Assuming. We're just assuming.
But hey, Maka's a news person. She has the facts. I assume that this person does musical
facts,
theater.
America.
Maria Leon is the guest judge, and she was fabulous. Loved her outfit. I love the little swish of the cape as she walked back to her boat.
She knew where she was going.
Oh, she came to the right.
She was there to judge,
place.
and she's like, "I'll show you a little."
And we talked to the man who wrote the musical, and he wrote last year's musical as well. And his name is Kecho. Hi, Kecho.
And your name is?
But it's very funny because the musical itself is called Chale lo hice otra vez, which is lo hice otra vez. Right?
Oops.
Oops, I did it again.
Right, lo hice otra vez. I play with it. Wait, no, that's English. I don't know this.
Well, would you, like, when you fuck up in Spanish, do you say chale?
No, I don't.
Who says chale?
I mean, people in Mexico, like, I think it's like regional, because there's this all this like isms that are all just from all over, you know.
What is your oops?
Fuck. I don't know what you were expecting.
Leital opens up the musical, which is fun. It's starting off in the Hit Me Baby One More Time era, so we've got the backup dancers in their Catholic school outfits.
This is where I was explaining to you that she gets introduced in her judging outfit and makeup, and then but then they cut
You're
to
right.
So, you know, I'm not like trying to be like this, but you know, it's just interesting to see that they show her as the judging, and then she has different makeup now.
I bet she filmed this earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Because, yeah, she's not with any of them.
She's not interacting.
Yeah, she's not interacting with any of them. So, yeah, she could have easily filmed this, like, even a different day for all we know.
And she's kind of playing like a teacher or a headmaster.
Her lip sync was incredible.
Oh, yeah. She
was really good. She has it, you know?
She has it. Yeah, and she's like doing roll call. She's calling out all the girls' names. And then first to come out is Hidden Mistake in full Hit Me Baby One More Time regalia.
Incredible. Stunning.
I thought...
Superstar.
Right off the bat, like fully channeling
Mocatriz.
Britney Spears. Full mocatriz over here. I loved the choreo. I loved the look.
The thing is, and I've been saying it again, this girl just knows how to perform. She knows how to own a stage, and it does not matter how big she is or small she is. Like, she just conquers. You can see it in her lip syncs. You can see her in her, like, when she's like whimsical. Like, you know, you know that she's great at performing. And so this was like a feat to watch. Loved
it. Congrats, Hidden. We go next to Papercut, who's doing Oops, I Did It Again.
Another strong person. Like, back to back. They were so good seeing them next to each other.
Two of the most iconic Britney looks, too.
Also, yeah, exactly. And
Paper even said that the choreographer informed him that he probably had the hardest choreography.
And he still killed it.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic.
Yeah. props to Paper Cut. We loved this. And then next up we have Greta White, and she is doing Lucky, which makes a lot of sense for her because she is she's the old Hollywood girl.
I'm gonna say it again. Oh my god, I love Greta. I think she's great. She's been a fierce competitor, but I feel like yet again she gets bumped up somehow.
Yeah,
I feel like this was not good. And I think it's just because Forest Lowe's song, you have to know how to move yourself. You have to know how to move every inch of yourself. And I don't think she delivered for me.
I agree. I liked elements of it, but I didn't think it was quite purposeful enough. And she sort of got compliments for playing it clumsy. And I'm not sure that she was...
I don't think she was playing it clumsy. She was being clumsy.
I think,
That's how it read to me on the screen. Again,
that
we're
character
not there
being clumsy doesn't make any sense,
But just overall, the amount of critiques or good critiques she received, I was a little bit in shock.
It was also strange because, and again, we actually really do love Greta. We've been fans of Greta since before she was on the show. But I did find it odd that she was praised so much for her performance because her performance was so reactionary.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, here's these people doing this. Now I'm going to go over here and react to these people doing this.
Yeah, she was just like bouncing around. And it felt like she was thinking ahead of like, oh, I have to go that way now.
Yeah.
Like, and like, you could see it on her face. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I didn't feel like she was in the moment.
I don't, exactly.
Yeah. Strange.
I'm sorry, I don't like it.
I didn't love it. And this is one of my favorite Britney songs as well. You've seen me cry to this song.
Lucky. Yeah, exactly.
So, unfortunately, Greta, not our favorite, but shows what we know when the judges talk. Fifi Fiesta comes out next doing Slave for You. Did you know that I performed Slave for You at my middle school? I did a lip sync. I was like, I don't know, 14, 13.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, everyone called me a faggot for like 5 years after that, but it was pretty fun. All of the girls were like, it would be so funny if a boy would come out and do a Britney dance with us. Because they did like 4 songs together, and then the boy came out at the end.
And here's a little video.
I don't have access to it.
Oh, no.
I wish I did. I do not.
You have your life so well documented.
This was before phone cameras. I was in middle school.
Well, I liked Fifi. I feel like
I thought she was
received horrible critiques for...
She was shocked.
She was shocked. When she was getting critiques, she was like, me? Like, you're talking about my performance? I was also pretty in shock at all the negative critiques she received.
I thought that she really held her own on the stage. She was very present, which is a problem that we're having with a couple of the girls who did or did not end up in the bottom this week.
And I think, if anything... she was overdoing, which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's better to be real back than to underperform.
It's also a little disorienting because I sort of assumed that the vocals would place somewhat into the final judgment.
Her vocals were good.
Her vocals were great.
Yeah.
She sounded the most like Britney.
Yes.
And that didn't seem to factor into it at all.
I don't think the voices factored into any of the
It did not seem
judging.
like it. Yeah. Which is fine. Like, it's not a singing competition. It's a drag competition. But I was a little confused that, like, okay, so lip syncing to the track is important. Looking and acting like Britney is important. But sounding like Britney gets no points for you? That seemed strange to me. Because I thought she had the best Britney-isms. What are you going to do? Light King comes out next. And she is doing Not a Girl, Not Yet a Woman.
Not Yet a Woman.
Not yet auto-tunes.
Not yet polished.
This is very difficult for us.
Not yet confident.
This is very difficult for us because we love Light King. We've been rooting for Light King all season.
I've been rooting for you. I love my rave girl.
I love my rave girl. Yeah, she's bringing rave into the couture. That's what we love about Light King. But this vocal track was really weak, and she could have made up for it with some kind of commitment on the stage, but she wasn't all the way there either.
She was giving, what did you say during when we were
It reminded me of Angina in this All-Stars 5? Yeah, where she had no voice. Light King did have a voice, but
But they sounded the same.
They sounded identical. Yeah, so Light King...
I'm in love. Wait, no.
He's my Superman, I'm flying, flying.
Which I love her verse.
It's
one of my favorite ones in the song, in the track. But here, it's not my favorite.
Back to this drag show.
I feel like it was cringy. I want to say bad things, but it was just like, oof, like I was stressing watching it.
I know, I felt bad for her because especially after like 2 strong weeks in a row, I thought this was maybe an opportunity for her to at least like be safe and like make it through to next week, but we'll see what happens. Aisha Doll Kills comes out next, and this one I thought was good.
Yes.
I could see how there was a couple maybe awkward transitions between dance moves, but I thought her persona on stage was the most like Britney. I thought she was the most styled like Britney. Mm-hmm. Like her outfit looked like something Britney would wear but hasn't worn before. Like,
yeah, I think what hindered her, she was wearing, maybe her corset was too tight. And so I could see when she was like trying to go down, like she couldn't go like down because it was like she was...
That's hard.
Yeah, so...
Because she's a dancer, too. She's really got to show that skill when she gets the chance.
So I think overall it was good. I don't know. I can see how her placement was kind of low, but I don't know. I am still not... I think
we're gonna be very disoriented through this episode because we don't really understand what happened.
I think we just don't want anyone to go home. We're like, they did great.
The thing is, we are at that point where I truly would love to just watch 10 more episodes with all of the girls who are still here.
Make it All-Star 7.
Why not? Peggy comes out next, and she's doing Gimme More, which is a real fan favorite for the Britney fans.
Yeah, it's an incredible song.
It's a great song.
What did you think of her performance?
I don't think it was the strongest, but I also am... I just think there was other candidates to be in the bottom.
Like, I don't know what the judges are seeing because I think I'm just biased at this point. I don't get it.
We must be, because I was shocked that Fifi was in the bottom. I don't think it's impossible for Fifi to be in the bottom.
Well, I was just surprised at, like, the comments she keeps receiving of, like, you're not doing enough. I'm like, what? Like, she did great. Like... She had like a hiccup of like maybe she was not lip syncing, but a lot of those girls were.
A lot of the girls were dropping lines.
Were dropping lines and like not lip syncing. So I just think they have it against her. Something must have happened. Even last week, she got horrible critiques, and it was like not really fair and valid to what we saw on the screen. And it's like we saw girls that were worse than her, but they're getting great critiques shown, and she's getting bad critiques. I think they're editing her a couple of episodes before in a bad light so that when they eliminate her, we're like, oh, well, she's been getting bad critiques. But it's like her performances have been strong, and like they've been above other people who should be lower, and they're getting better critiques than she is.
And her looks have been really consistent.
Yeah, her looks are consistent. And like Raquel's comment of like, you're too comfortable. It's like, well, she knows what she's doing. That's what's happening.
Well, you mentioned last week the high blood pressure thing. Do you think any of this is health related? Because even though I didn't think she deserved to be in the bottom, I agree with the judges that she looked a little distant on stage for a couple parts.
On the runway, we did see a little bit of that, but we'll jump into that.
Yeah,
so
that's more on the runway.
Let's go on to the next.
Lysa Sansusi comes out, and she is doing Womanizer. And this is also a very fun Britney song. And she was giving a lot. I was confused by her look initially. I was like, what does this have to do with Britney? And then
the reveal.
Flopped her head down, got a blonde Britney wig under there, glasses are gone. Good reveal.
Yeah, I think she wanted to go from her to Britney.
Oh, smart.
You know, like she was giving a little bit of her and then turning to Britney. That reveal was great. Because I literally, as soon as, right before she did the reveal, I was like, why is she wearing glasses? Like, it makes no sense. It's like, it's covering her face.
Yeah.
And then, bam, it happened.
Loved it.
It was great. Like, high energy, through and through, very Lysa Sansusi. I think they picked, like, the songs. They were very good at picking the songs for each of them.
I think so. I think everyone was pretty much set up for success with their song choices, including Santa Lucia, who comes out next. And she is doing Work Bitch.
You want a Bugatti?
These lyrics were maybe the funniest.
You want a Maserati?
Well, what was she saying? Like a Michelada at one point?
I just want a Volvo.
That's very modest.
I don't need a
Maserati.
A Maserati or a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. I just want a Volvo.
But yeah, I thought this was pretty fun. Vocals not the best.
I mean, the vocals, I'm sorry, but I think she was set up to, like, there was no lyrics. It was just the same word over and over and over. So it's like, I don't think they set her up entirely good with the lyrics. But the performance, I think it was solid.
I thought she was going to be in the bottom. I also was a little afraid
I
she
thought
would be
she was going to be in
the
the bottom. And then I saw her runway and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cute.
Well, perfect segue because we will get right into the runways. And I feel like this runway was really important. I think it broke a lot of ties. And I think it maybe put some people into the bottom that didn't totally make sense to us. And that might explain some of these judgments. But let's just go dress by dress and talk about what everyone's wearing. Pekka comes out first, and she's wearing kind of a very simple, regal, like, ball gown.
Yeah, which is like a Miss Universe.
She's doing a Miss Universe
Which
thing.
we have not seen from her. So the fact
It's
that they
different
read
for
her
yeah.
to be like, you're giving the same. I'm like, have you seen her runways? Like, how is she giving the same?
And it still told a story with, like, her getting the sash. And
yeah, she looks so fucking beautiful. Also, they read her on her makeup.
They read her makeup, and she had the best makeup on
She's
the runway.
had the best, like one of the best makeups, like in the competition, and they read her on her makeup. That's so funny to me. I was like, wow, that's why I feel like they have it against her. And that's why I feel like they're preparing us because they're going to get her out and we're going to be like, oh, like, the critiques were like bad, and I was like, no, they're playing those critiques up.
I really loved this gown. I thought the sleeves and the detailing on the sleeves were so stunning, and I'm not really a like pageant like ballroom girl. Like
Exactly, she was giving pageantry.
It was
like
full
she hasn't
pageant.
given that. Like, you know, that's why I was like, what? I don't get what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought she elevated the pageant look. I am very confused by her placement, but we'll see what happens. Next to the stage, we have Aisha Dollkills back again on the runway. Very excited to have her back because I like this look a lot.
That's not true. That's not what you said during the runway.
I said I like it. I said that
you said you don't. I don't like the bottom.
I said that the bottom looked a little detached from certain
exactly.
angles.
You didn't like
That's
it at the beginning.
That's all I said.
You didn't like it at the beginning.
Well, I liked the hair from the jump. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, the hair, we were literally talking about that, how that was like Fifi Esta's look from the promo.
Look, I love Fifi, but Fifi didn't invent having a strand of hair in her
I know,
face.
but it's like, girl, you did this 2 episodes ago when you recorded your promos. Unless it didn't later. Whatever. I just feel like it was too related to Fifi that my head was like, was that Fifi? And it's like, oh wait, no, that's Aisha. So I feel like I still have like, I still don't really know who Aisha is. That's like my only, like, I don't know where she is at.
Yeah, I feel like the drag from her in particular with the fashion has been the most inconsistent, even in the only like 3 or 4 episodes we've spent with her. But I thought this was one of her better looks. Yeah, I did not mind this at all.
Yeah.
Well, great. I liked it in spite of what Sergio is saying. Next out is Greta White's. And my initial reaction to this was pretty positive. I was like, oh, I like the sort of avant-garde silhouette. I like the weird ruffliness. It was more when she started moving around that I didn't like it so much because the back was drooping and we lost the illusion. And when you see the sort of comforter cape from the side, it just looks like chunky. Yeah.
Like, she has no shape or silhouette.
I didn't love the wig. I don't know.
I didn't like the... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like well, I don't want to say that she's maybe going to be a top 4, but like based on the critiques that we've been getting, like they're bumping her in terms of like, you need to overlook some of the things that she's doing because look at the judges, they're saying good things about her. I feel like this is a great concept for a photo shoot where you're like, you know, not moving a lot. And once you're like, this fact that she started voguing, like she's so into Vogue right now.
It's really funny that they called it voguing because it was more like a Macarena. It was very like...
Yeah, she was doing a Macarena, basically. But, you know, like, I didn't get it with the outfit. Like, it was not giving a story. And that's the thing that I don't like.
Yeah, why are you voguing in bed?
It's the thing I don't like because they're like, well, you weren't giving us the story that we wanted. And for her, she gave no story. And they're like, we love it. Like, what? I don't get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird. That said, very pretty in the face, as always.
She's just pretty.
Very pretty.
She's just pretty. And it's like, what, like, I feel like, well, like, I'm going off tangent here, but like, but I feel like finally Drag Race is retracting for that because they're eliminating all the cute girls. It's like, you cannot just be a cute girl anymore. Yeah. You have to be funny. Especially UK season 4 is like the more like prominent one of like, oh, you're pretty? Oh, well, bye. Like, you have one of the best outfits. We don't care. Like, you're going home now. I'm glad that they're retracting. Anyway.
No, I agree. Yeah, I thought this should have been in the bottom.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be in the bottom.
I thought this was, and again, we love Greta, and
she just wants to look pretty, and they literally read her for that last week, and then she, like, I don't know.
This was the second week in a row where I thought she was a prime pick for the bottom two.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, that did not happen.
Yeah.
Liza Sansusi comes out next, and I really like this look. This was very fun. Very, like, Vegas showgirl. Mm-hmm. I love the fruit hat. Yeah. Very Chiquita Banana. It was fun.
It was great. I think her, like, dancing on the runway was very
her
cute.
Energy was so great.
I think her energy is always up, 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 and so she picked a perfect runway theme to go on stage, and I think it worked for her this week.
She looked really cute, but you and I were both laughing when she was getting her critiques, because every time she would nod her head, the headpiece would go like, womp, womp, womp. But that's not really a fault.
That's not a fault. That's just funny.
It's just funny. So Liza, you look very pretty and you made us laugh. Good job. Yeah. Next up, we have Fiesta, and this was confusing for me. I
did not understand at first why is she wearing black.
The black threw it all off.
Like, she's creating a shape around, and it's like the center is black, doesn't go with the orange. And then the wings don't make sense. This is like her, like, aqua theme.
She loves going into these wings, yeah.
Yeah. like
because she had it with the mermaid look that it's the only other Fifi look I did not like.
Yeah.
So maybe I just don't like when she does wings.
I did not like this whatsoever.
I thought that it could have been there, like, the initial reveal of the wings.
Is she meant to be a phoenix?
Dark Phoenix from the X-Men?
Because she has, like, the... Like,
she does kind of look like Jean Grey, yeah.
No,
okay.
Just a phoenix, like a bird.
Okay, well, maybe. I think
she crystallized, and then she was buried alive, or, whatever.
I think she's, if anything, she's the Dark Phoenix from the X-Men, but that's just me.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's what you meant, yeah, because she's wearing black, okay.
It was hard when the piece of the wing fell off. That was a yikes moment, because, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have been one thing if a part of a garment that we really loved fell off, but this was kind of my least favorite Fifi look. I just didn't really get where she was coming from with it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's funny because she's telling the confessionals and she's telling everyone, I'm not a dancer, I'm not a performer, I haven't done anything. But it's like, girl, they know. Even if you lie about it, they know. So when you do it, they're going to already have you higher because, like, expect a lot more from you. And I feel like this could have also almost landed her in the bottom based on, like, the critiques.
Based on what happens. We'll have to really get into that in a second. Light King comes out next. I think Light King looks very cute. I love this wig. I think orange works for her.
The rave girl.
Bringing that full rave girl aesthetic. But I thought this was a good use of orange. I think
at this point, we've already seen this in so many other colors.
It's a pretty similar
It's the same silhouette. Like, this is the same silhouette. Like, this is what they were telling Becca, but, like, no, this is the same silhouette. Like, it's always the same. Always the same.
True. Well, I still do like the makeup. I like the styling. There's a lot to enjoy with this garment. I think she always is a feast for the eyes, and tonight is no exception.
Yeah.
Exception. Just edit that out. Say the exception, the good one. Okay, great. Santa Lucia comes out next, and ooh, what a witchy week we have. There's been witches all over the stage in the last couple weeks.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. You were not liking it because
I didn't say I didn't like it.
No, because they were not tejocotes. And then the next girl, you were loving it.
This is the exact opposite of what happened. This is the exact
because
opposite
I was liking
of what
this,
happened.
and I was like, oh yeah, this is when, like, she's like a witch, and that's like her whole thing. Like, she's really dark. Yes.
Great.
And then she was throwing, like, the tejocotes.
Or so you thought. So you admit that you were the one who thought that she had tejocotes. I never said she had anything.
No, you said she's not meeting the
No, what happened was the next person came out and you said that pumpkin is not a tejocote. And I said, well, the last girl didn't have any tejocotes and you didn't have any fucking problem with that. So you're the one who's lying.
Because I was like, then I realized, because yes, I wanted to hate on it because she came out as a pumpkin. And I was like, what? Like, because I was thinking back and I was like, I was imagining as if I was watching season 2, 1, 2, or 3, where there's like, or in 4, where there's like no American propaganda. And like when they opened, she was a pumpkin. So like, that just kind of flared up, and I was like, wait, why is she a pumpkin? This is a tejocote challenge. Like, but then I realized, I was like, wait, no, it's a color tejocote, but it's based on their best drag. So I take it back, and I love it. Actually, I enjoy it.
We're still talking about Santa.
Oh, I'm already on the next girl. I'm sorry.
I loved Hidden's look. Hidden did come out next, and as we mentioned, she was dressed as a pumpkin. But she also had like a candy axe. I thought this was a fully realized character.
Yeah, it was cute.
When she took off the pumpkin, she had the little green leaf in her head, so she still kind of looked like a pumpkin. I love the straw, very Halloween. I thought this was great.
Yeah, it was a strong week for her.
Yeah, and even though there was no tejocotes, I thought it was really, really good. And finally to the stage, we have Paper Cut. Always something interesting going on with Paper. This week is no exception.
He's truly reinventing himself.
Yeah, I loved and he's been getting the note to change up his makeup quite a bit. I like the way that he kept the signature kind of clown white, but just moved
like strikes at
lunch. It was smart. And I think probably my favorite part of this garment was the bubble boa. It was like very Lady Gaga bubble dress.
Oh, that was incredible.
As a long boa. Yes. And it looked like it was just floating there. I don't know how they constructed it, but it was very amazing. Cool. And then on top of that, we have the boa gets tossed away. We have this little rubber ducky. And then... Yeah. Well,
it took hours.
It took so long. We also forgot he dropped a little rubber ducky in
the water that they use. We can't even see it, so I don't know.
It doesn't even look like water. It could just be.
It looks like a tarp. It's like a tarp that you can see on the stage or like on the judging panel.
Yeah. Also, how often do you think they're changing that water? I hope no one's like
not often
getting it on their skin or anything. Well, anyway, Paper Cut goes back to the runway. And Venenito helps him to reveal the final.
That was a very cute moment, even though it took a long time.
It was cute, and it was criticized for taking so long, but it just seemed like this was the only way they could make this reveal happen. And I just like the juxtaposition of this watery fabric with the tejocote colored. I thought they looked nice together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's kind of all the runway that we have to talk about. But wow, did things go down with the judges and their critiques? What was the most confusing moment of this judgment to you? Because I have a couple.
Well, it was praising Greta White from her performance to her runway to like they love her.
It seemed like she was almost going to be in the top.
Yeah, like I honestly thought she was like going to win based on what the judges were saying. I was like, wait, there was no fault in like any of their judging compared to like even the winner that maybe had like a little, I don't know. Well, not really, but like, you know, other queens that were in the top that were like, had like, well, you could have done this and you could have done that. Becca's comments. Yeah. For sure.
Peke was told.
Of like, you're too good. So I don't, like, you need to show something else. It's like, what? What do you want me to show you? I don't get it.
You want me to come out and look like shit? I guess I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was confusing to me, especially the makeup comment, because I thought her beat was perfect tonight. Yes. And I think, especially... because it came on the heels of Letal sort of giving helpful critiques about using more browns and blacks if you're going to use orange as a makeup color, which I think makes sense for shading. But I thought that Peke was the most blended and like presentable with the orange like, in her makeup palette.
Yeah, it was her.
Maybe it looks different in person.
But she's judging for camera. Like every time she's like giving them tips for camera. Yeah. Like in camera, she looked really good.
I thought she looked amazing. So that was confusing for me.
It was confusing. What else was confusing?
Aisha was confusing for me.
Aisha was confusing.
I thought Aisha should have at least been safe. I wouldn't have been surprised if they were like, Aisha, just to show these girls you mean business, we're putting you in the top this week. Because you're just that Britney-ish.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
They could have seen that happen.
Because they could easily just give out a top placement for, oh, you reminded us the most of Britney. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what Aisha was giving. And the fact that they avoided that storyline was, I don't know, I felt like a bit of a missed opportunity from like a production standpoint. Because it's not fun to watch someone who's really good at drag get to come back into the competition and then immediately get put in the bottom. I thought this was an opportunity to have her be safe or in the top.
Yeah.
That's just me though. And then, I don't know, I guess those were the big ones, but just to reiterate, in my mind, Greta and Light King should have gotten the exact same critiques.
Yes.
So when they were so different, it was confusing. Raquel's Mas is Paper Cut.
Agree.
Full agree. But where we disagree a little bit is Aisha in the bottom. I think safe at least.
Yeah, safe at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yachty gives hers. Lysa in the top. I think we can both agree on that.
I can agree on that.
She, performance-wise, was probably second strongest this week. Yeah. Does this go with your theory that she's giving so it's like what? Performance from Raquel, look from Yachty, makeup from Letal? Mm-hmm. So you think...
Like that reveal?
Lysa's... Oh, yeah, the reveal. Okay. No, this tracks. And then her menos was Peque Balderas. And they said...
I mean, her look was a little simple. I do agree with that, but not enough to be all the way in the bottom. Like, in terms of performance. Her performance outfit was very simple. But fair. It does not... I don't think that removes you from how good... I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Don't agree with that one. But then I think we do agree with this one. Letal has Hidden in the top. And I thought this was a great week for Hidden.
Yeah.
She's just like really beginning to end of the episode gave a lot. And she also did sound a lot like Britney in the recording studio. So I appreciated that. But Letal's menos is Light King, which...
is the only one I agree with.
That's the only menos we agree with this week. I'm right there with you, babe. Oh my gosh, this is just devastating. I don't even want to say it.
Well, the winner is Hit or Mistake. We don't want to say it.
No, that's the good news. Good news of the week. It's winner is Hit or Mistake. And this was a long time coming. She really deserved it. And she could have been in the top or won a couple times already. So I'm glad this finally happened for her. Mm-hmm. But we get our bottom 3, not 2. And it is the aforementioned Aisha, Light King, and Peque. On top of that, Maka drops a huge bomb. All 3 of you will be lip syncing against each other, and 2 of you are going home. This causes quite the kerfuffle on stage. Everyone is upset. Everyone is comforting the people who are in the bottom. Until
Light King instantly, it was like, as soon as she said that the two girls are going home, Light King was like shut down instantly, and I was like. At first, I was like, girl, but you knew you were going to be in the bottom. Like, what's... I think she knew that she had no chance of staying. I think that's what it was, and then she was just like, I'm just going to quit.
Yeah, I agree, and I kind of don't blame her in a way. She's had a bit of a rough go of it, and she has gotten to show her drag and her talent already. This is exactly like I was saying last week. If I'm in the middle of a reality competition and I'm not having a good time, I'm just gonna go. So I support her. But the thing is, that's not really the closure. We're talking about this as if we know for sure what happened.
Yeah.
She runs off stage, and before we even get a lip sync, the episode cuts to credits.
Well, we get a confessional where she says, like, I'm leaving the competition.
Which does make it seem like she's actually
Which makes it seem that it actually will happen, that she's leaving the competition. But the thing that we, like, are left on is, like, the lip sync. Because Maka is, like, production. Like, what are we going to do now? Because they were meant to have a 3-way lip sync, and now they're going to have the 2. And it's like, are they going to make him lip sync even though one of them is... You know, it's like...
Well, is it deserving? If 2 people were going to go home, then one person still needs to go home, right?
I still feel like it's not deserving to have the lip sync because the emotions are going to be so high. I think that they should not have it. And they should just eliminate 2 girls in the next episode. I just want to say Peque. And Aisha, like, I don't know.
I know between those 2, I don't want either to go home.
I don't think that they deserve to be in the bottom of, like, the entire group in there. So what do you think is going to happen?
I would guess that we open next week's episode with Light King in the workroom and the girls still kind of trying to scramble to get her to stay. I feel like that could be the first 5 minutes of the episode.
They're not convincing her to stay.
They're going to try.
But she's not staying.
You asked what I thought would happen. I'm telling you.
They're going to ask her to lip sync. That's what they want to ask her, not to stay.
But you have to stay in order to lip sync. She does not even want to lip sync.
You have to lip sync in order to stay.
I know that, but if you leave, you can't lip sync.
Well, they're trying to convince her to lip sync. They're not trying to convince her to come back.
You have to... I didn't say come back. I said...
comeback is better because she can go back to the stage. So they're trying to convince her to come back.
This is the dumbest thing to be arguing about. She will go into the workroom, and I bet they will talk her into doing the lip sync. Don't you think? And then she'll go home.
Don't think that she's going to do it.
I mean, respect to her if she doesn't. Yeah. She's one of those girls.
And it would be insane if they give us at the beginning of the episode lip sync. Like that would be the first time if they do that of like, okay. Oh, you're too. That's why I don't think that they're gonna lip sync. I think that they're just gonna they're gonna eliminate 2 girls in the next episode.
I mean, that does make sense. It would be very strange.
It was such a great ending. It was such a great ending that, you know, leaving the competition like in that way was so good that I don't think
it's pretty iconic.
Yeah, exactly. It's so memorable. Like, we're gonna remember this for a long time, and I feel like it's one of the most memorable eliminations that have happened in terms of like that type of situation happening, where it was like so fast. Like she came in and she's like, nobody touched me, and then she got up and she's like, I'm leaving, and then she didn't even wait. She just left.
She didn't even get a lipstick. She didn't even get white out. Yeah. She was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Very heavy episode.
It's a little strange to be ending our recap here with such lack of closure.
No elimination.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. Unless you're watching this in the future.
Then you already know what happened.
Then you already know. Can you tell us? Leave a comment if you're from the future. But speaking of comments, even though we're done with the recap for this week, let's quickly check in with our beautiful commenters. Thank you so much for leaving comments. It's very nice to know that people are watching. Our first comment today is from Jonathan Del Valle Ojinaga. And they say, that Lolita Cortez moment, girl, it gave me all the life I was looking for. And you're kind of a star after this Lolita Cortez reenactment.
Yeah.
Everyone's blowing up in the comments, loving your impression. Will you do it on La Más Famosa next season?
I'm in shock that why no one has picked Lolita Cortez to do in their La Más Famosa challenge.
It would be a very good choice.
She has so many isms. Mm-hmm. And I think, like, I've shown you videos.
Well, she's been on TV for like 20 years, you told me, right?
Yeah, for like long, yeah. Anyway, thank you for not voting for Nick.
Well, I did get to stay this week, so enough people voted for me that I'm still here. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Oscar Valencia writes in, aw, you guys are so freaking adorable. As always, if you say we are adorable, we will read your comment. And big thumbs up, new subscriber here. Yay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been great seeing people subscribe. If you are inclined to subscribe, please do. But if not, I get it. I don't subscribe to anyone. Their videos just show up in my feed. So do your thing. But subscribe if you like. Thank you so much, Oscar. Thank you so much for everyone who wrote in. Sorry our episode was a little late this week, but it should be on time in the future. Thank you for watching. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. Sergio, say bye to the nice people.
Bye, nice people.
Bye, nice people. Mwah.